everybody. Hello, welcome back again to the video. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for taking time to listen. And I've received so much support, so much love from the previous video. Thank you so much. That is well noted and well appreciated. For those who are tuning in for the first time, as I already said, my name is Zola. I'm a registered nurse who has just removed to Canada, to the province of British Columbia. That is where I'm working as a registered nurse. And it is this move that has made me to decide to sit down and compile these videos so that I can share with each and every one of us. I'm talking to you all internationally educated nurses. Yeah, so this video really is for you. Again, let me clarify it again. I am not employed by the government of Canada. I am not employed by the Department of Health or the College of Nurses of British Columbia, including the health organization where am I working. Nobody has asked me to sit down and compile this video. I've done this video just to share my personal experience, hoping that my personal experience, my challenges, my adventure, everything that I've gained during the journey when I was applying for my nursing registration, somehow it can help you during your process while you are busy with your nursing registration, or you are thinking of starting your nursing registration in Canada, and I hope it will inspire you to do that. Yeah, so again, I would like people to encourage people to subscribe to the video. In that way you will keep track of everything that we're talking about. As I already said, that I will be talking about my personal journey from the day I started the application until the day I landed in Canada. It was a rewarding experience, full of love and support, challenges, ups and downs, but it is something I felt it is worth sharing. So today, what are we going to be talking about? So first thing first, today for you international educated nurses, first thing I want you to think about, should you decide to come to Canada, ask yourself which province you're gonna be, you would like to go to. As you know that there are so different provinces, same like as we have our own provinces in South Africa, also here in Canada there are so many provinces that you need to consider. So as you know that we've got, personally I'm in British Columbia, that is one of the provinces, and there's Ontario, there is Alberta, there is New Brunswick, there is Nova Scotia, there is Manitoba, a lot of them. So you need to decide which province you think you would like to apply for registration. The reason I'm saying that, there's many reasons that you need to ask yourself that. First and foremost, as you know that registration in Canada is totally different than the registration in South Africa. Back home with us in South Africa, regardless of which province you trained, whether you trained in the Eastern Cape, of which that's where I come from, whether you trained in Gauteng, whether you trained in Limpopo, you trained in KwaZulu-Natal, all of us, we gain our nursing registration from our South African Nursing Council, regardless of the province. And our nursing registration in South Africa allows us to work everywhere in the country, of which that is different in Canada. Here, I will make an example with myself. My nursing registration is with the British Columbia, so meaning that I can only work in British Columbia. I cannot just decide tomorrow that, oh, I want to go and work in Toronto, I want to go and work in Alberta. No, it doesn't work like that. So once you gain your registration, that is where you're going to be working. Yes, you can apply for the second registration if you want to, for whatever reasons, let's say family reasons, okay, whatever. Then you decide maybe, okay, you want to move to another province, then you will need to again start the process. But I cannot tell you how that process works because I haven't done it myself, or because I just got my initial registration. So that is the reason I'm saying that you need to ask yourself, which province in Canada am I interested to move to? So, and there are many things that you need to consider when you thinking about the province. It's all funny with me. I never chose British Columbia. British Columbia, I think somehow it chose me, and I'm very grateful, for that. When I was doing my province selection, when I started my whole application of which is something we're gonna talk about, like from the beginning, where do you start, when you have to do your credentialing, checking, verification, all that stuff. So I selected, I think 3 provinces, but my province of interest was Ontario. So my first province I selected was the College of Nurses of Ontario, okay? And I think my second was Alberta. I'm not so 100% sure. I think BC was the third one. It's so funny, and now I'm in BC. And so, but I'm grateful. I'm really grateful. It did that, and so, but it shows that even myself, I didn't really do proper research when I was doing that, looking at the things that you needed to consider. So what are the things you need to consider when you're doing your selecting which province that you want to move to? So first I'm gonna ask you to please give yourself time, go and research each and every College of Nursing. That is where they issue the registration, where you're gonna apply for your nursing license. Look into the steps, because each and every college, they've got different criteria. Yes, there are similarities, okay, but somehow there might be 2 or 3 requirements that might differ from another province. And then you might find that, no, this is gonna be a problem. So instead of me applying there, let me rather apply in another province. But even when you do that, I would recommend that when you do your province selection, at least have 2 provinces. Don't just do 1, because once you do 1, if you get stuck, another province, requirement from another province can help you to meet another requirement in another province. I know it's not gonna make sense right now, but as we go down, I will go back and explain what did I mean when I say that. So don't just do only 1 province. So, but go and look each and every province, their colleges of nursing for registration, and look what is their requirements, what is the criteria, what is the time frame, everything that you need to meet before they can issue your nursing registration or your nursing license. So that's number 1. So, but go and do that. As I said, preferably I recommend you select 2. That will help you a lot. And another thing, you need to consider, remember, you're not going to be working 24 hours, right? You're going to have your social life. You might be moving with your husband, your partner, or whatever, including your family and your kids. So you need to consider the weather. The weather is very important in Canada. That's one thing for sure. So that is the reason I'm saying that I'm so grateful BC chose me. Because now looking into the weather conditions, especially in Ontario, that is Toronto, I can't stand snow. I don't think my adjustment was gonna be so easy if I were in Toronto. I don't think so. So like here in BC, our winter, it's winter right now. It's just raining. You wake up raining, you go to bed raining, it's just rain. So me, coming from Cape Town, because that is where I did my nursing training, I work in Cape Town, so I'm used to the wet weather, especially cold and wet. So that's what I'm used to. So to me, it's not a major adjustment. It's not something that that is foreign to me. It's something that I'm used to. Yeah. So even until today, we've never seen any snow, but it's just rain and rain and rain and rain and just cold. This is something, as I say, that I'm familiar with. So. For us coming from South Africa with not that much snow, so those snowy provinces, I feel like they can be challenging, but of course at the same time it could be something new. It could be something you feel, wow, this is something different, let me do it. That's fine, no problem, but at least you will be better prepared. You will know what to expect. Okay, so consider those things, and at the same time do look into the as you know that when you move on this side, you're gonna be renting. Maybe later on you might decide to buy a property. So do look into those things, how much are the renters and all those things. It's very, very, very important, because as you know that big cities, the higher the rent. That one is obvious, same as with us back home in South Africa. So, but do look into those things. Your kids' schools, I don't think it's much of an issue in the schools. It's easy to get the schools, because for the schools, you know, you just get a school, you know, that is closer to where you will be staying, or it's easy. So it's something you don't need to worry much about it. So, but for me, the big thing really is the weather. Number two is the housing, you know, the rentals, how much you're gonna be paying and all those things, because it does, you know, it take a toll in your salary. So think about those things, and then before you decide which province you wanna move to. So yeah, I think these are the major things I just wanted to go through. And it also, some other people, they feel that it also helps maybe also to look into the, you know, not so big cities, you know, because everybody wants to flock into the big cities. So competition can be very high, and I guess the number of applications, I assume, will be higher compared to the smaller provinces. So maybe you might decide maybe to have one big, you know, province, and your second one could be maybe not so big province, you know, maybe things like that, just to see, just to speed up the process. Yeah, so, but as I say, for now, I want all of you international educated nurses, so go there, do your research, look into the provinces, know all of them, know their requirements, and then once you decide, as I say, please, I advise you, I recommend at least to select 2 of them. Then after your selection, look into the requirements, what is the criteria, then we take it from there. So as I say, for me, it was just trial and error. No one has ever said to me, hey, Zola, please look into that, look into that. I wish I had somebody who would have given me that information. Maybe even my application wouldn't have taken so many years, because it really took very long, you know, because it was back and forth, you know, trying this province, trying that province. But maybe if I had someone like me, of which I'm willing to offer just my experience, not that I'm an expert. No, I'm not an expert in anything. I'm just sharing my personal experience, okay, what I went through. I'm not saying that I'm gonna have all the answers, or I have all the answers. No, colleges, of course, you're gonna deal with the colleges, but I can just offer you some support, you know, reassurance, and you know, we can, you know, as I say, that navigate the whole system and see, you know, how can, you know, make, you know, the whole, you know, journey not so challenging and overwhelming. There are no shortcuts at all, so, but at least we can do it together. So yeah, so this is what I wanted to talk about today, is know which province. Don't just go there and that's it. Know each province. Go to the website. Each and every province has got a website for the nursing college that is responsible for their nursing registration. So go there, look into the requirements, step-by-step approach. They are very simple, very straightforward, easy to follow, and then see what is it. There is each and every one, they've got 2 categories, either for Canadian trained nurses and for international educated nurses. And this is where we fit in, right? Because we're international educated nurses. But as I already said, personal, I'm from South Africa, so I'm not sure people from other countries what I'm saying well, but it will be, you know, applicable for them. I'm purely saying from a South African point of view, because I hold a license from South Africa. That is where I did my basic nursing training. So yeah, I think that's it for today. So the next videos, okay, we will have another video in few days time. As I say, I'm giving you a homework. Want you to go there, know Canada before you come, and then we take it from there. But in the next video, my plan, I want to talk about the English. Is very important. I want to talk about the IELTS, we call it IELTS, the English requirement. And this is something while you're doing also your research, look into each college, what is their English requirement, because this can be a very challenging factor. So because some colleges, they are very, you know, considerate. There are some other ways you can meet the English requirement without having to do IELTS. But there are some colleges, that still requires us to do the IELTS. So look into those things, okay? No harm. We all speak English, but it can, be a bit tricky. So, but look at those things. So these are the things I want us to talk about. But in the next one, we're going to focus into that. In the meantime as well, I will go and look in all the provinces and see. So that when we we in the next video, we know what we're talking about. But I do want to focus in that English requirement. Yeah, so I think that's enough for today. So moving on forward, guys, as I already said, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And moving forward, I will be responding to those who have subscribed. So please do subscribe so that it's easy for me to communicate with you. Drop me a question, then we can communicate and take it from there. And it's also easy if you subscribe. The next video, you'll be the first one to know. And maybe the question you might have, it has already been answered in the video. Whereas if you did not subscribe, sometimes you might miss some information. There's a video you might not see because you haven't subscribed. So please do try to do that. And then so that we can all move forward. And at the same time, if there's any topic you want me maybe to cover, let me know so that we can do that together. No issues at all. So that's it for today. Otherwise, thank you so much for listening. Bye. Till next time.